evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us once again on the Discipline Therapy podcast with your two incredible hosts, Suhey Sotomayor, and with me always, Mr. E.L. Discipline. But today is not a regular show. This is a special edition episode. Aren't you excited, Mr. Discipline?
Oh yeah, we have a great special guest.
Yes, our special guest is Mr. Luner Eugene. And who is Mr. Luner Eugene, you guys want to know? He is a cinematographer, writer, director, and video editor. He has a background in graphic design and music. And just to let you know, he used to rap and produce his own music in his garage. Now, where most filmmakers focus more on making the film, Luner is writing, directing, co-producing, editing, creating marketing materials, and searching for the best distribution deal. That was a hard one for me to say, distribution deal. He is also born in Port-de-Paix. Did I say that right?
Photo, Photopa.
Haiti. And at 9
Okay.
years old, he migrated to the U.S. to join his parents, who had come ahead to pave the way for Luner to have every chance at realizing the American dream. So, Mr. Luner Eugene, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure and an honor just to be able to speak to you guys. Just be able to just to talk to whoever's listening. I'm definitely blessed.
Sagab Fett.
I'm blessed.
Sagab Fett.
Like I've said,
Oh, wait, Nula. I know Nula too.
We're here. The accent.
Yeah.
Parle français too?
No.
Okay.
I don't talk French. I understand a little bit of it here and there, but
Okay.
yeah.
Voila. Okay. Good.
No fair. All I know is, damn it, I already forgot the one that I know.
Nula.
Nula.
We're here.
Nula.
Yeah.
Okay. We here.
Yeah, man.
Here.
I'm very excited to have you. Thank you for making time for us.
Awesome.
We had some questions, but go ahead, Sue. I have my own personal question.
Okay. What do your parents and family think of your career choice?
It's
That laugh says it all, by the way.
when it comes to that, I guess it really depends on the again, it depends on the education of the parent. To really be honest, I mean, as far as my parents, my mother passed away years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But she was extreme. Thank you. She was extremely supportive of everything that I was doing at the time. That before that I got into film. When I remember when I was rapping back in the days, my first performance, she was actually there supporting me. She was extremely
That's a great
supportive.
mom.
Yes. And as far as my dad, it's whatever.
Those men.
It's whatever.
The mothers are usually very supportive. It's the fathers that are like, oh, you need to be a doctor, and you need
Don't waste your time.
You need to go to church. It was the three L's: l'église, l'école, and la caille, which is translation of church, school, and home.
Okay.
That's what my dad's Haitian, my mother's Dominican. My dad is an old school Haitian, and we grew up like in the church. So I think that's why she asked you that, because most Haitian cultures, it's the three L's, just like I said.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's very good. I actually saw a quick clip of one of the videos films, but I'm gonna get into that. Keep going.
Okay. Have you or your dad, have you seen any of your films like completed? Because I know you being a director, you get to see it, in the making. Have you ever watched any one of your movies in total completion?
Oh yeah.
I
have.
How does that feel? Like how did you feel watching like your very first one after you made it and you're sitting, like what kind of feeling did you have?
I think my very first one, it and this may sound strange to you. After I've produced it, it's more like, I've elevated so fast, to be honest.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Um, and so to go back and look at my past work is almost like I don't want to look at it anymore,
Oh,
if that makes sense. But
yes.
there are times I sit back and I'm like, you know what, I'm grateful. Like I can't believe this. Why I've actually produce this project, and it's still going on. I'm still getting calls from different people saying that they've seen it, they're truly
Mhm.
blessed by it. So I think every time I get to hear a comment like that, it actually feels good. That somebody literally watched the film and also was blessed by the project itself. So I
Mhm.
guess that's where the satisfaction comes into play. And I'm just pretty grateful the fact that I was able to make the first one, because the first one, in my opinion, is always the hardest.
Mm. Now, is that the one that you did in 2008? You directed, produced, and entered your first short film, Employed, right? At the Johnson and
Or
Johnson.
that one was the very short film. That's the first short film I've ever produced all by myself. Literally, it was just me with, like, I believe, 7 cast members at the
Wow.
time. I didn't know what I was doing. I just saw I saw a commercial on BET. Back in the days, it was Johnson and Johnson BET Lens and Talent. It was hosted by Sanaa Lathan, and when I saw that, I was like, man, I would love to enter. I've never shot a short film before,
Oh,
and
so this
I
was you
just,
were like virgin to it, period.
oh yeah,
Oh,
oh yeah.
wow.
Oh yeah, I just got inspired. I was like, I'm going to do this. But the further I got into it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of work, but just for one person.
Mm. Were you
But
disappointed at, finding out how hard it was gonna be?
actually, I don't think I was this disappointed. I think for me, the fact that I did it, and so now I know
Like
what
what
I
to
need to
expect?
do to make it
Mm.
better now. So okay, I know I need to get a DP. I need some producers. I need a sound man. I need a lighting person.
What's a
What's
So
a
DP?
DP? Cut it out, you. Yeah, what
di- di- director of photography. That's the person that's pretty much creating
the scenes?
the mood, the scene, the look of the film, using lights and great camera. A lot of times he has cameraman on camera. He's telling them, how to move the camera
Yeah,
around.
like pan left or pan right or whatever. Oh,
Yeah. Pretty
wow.
much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I figured they'd do that.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm.
So
So it was,
when you
yeah.
did the first one, your first the first show that we talked about,
Mhm.
Employed, you didn't have
Yes,
any of those. You were all of those. Is that
yes.
correct?
I was all of those.
Mm.
It was just me. It was just me.
So then by by the time you directed the short film Jessica Takes Charge in 2012, you already had the people, that you need, like the DP and all that?
Um, to really be honest, no, I still did it. I still shot that by myself. A matter of fact, it was a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, who at the time we were doing a lot of different little snippets, little short films. She's actually in the film Outer Banks. It's called that's out on Netflix. She's done Oprah,
Oh,
Greenleaf, a
wow.
lot of their different projects. Roots, the remix of Alex Haley Roots. She's on that project. So we grew up together, went through the same church. So we did a lot of little snippets stuff in here. So she wrote this. Her and the other lady that you saw,
Julie
they wrote
Kendall?
it. Yeah, Julie Kendall. She's out in Atlanta. A very great person. So they wrote it, and I practically was behind the camera, and I sort of directed it, and that was it.
Now,
Yeah.
And it
now,
was I'm sorry.
okay.
It was acknowledged by the popular YouTube channel Indie Mogul, right?
Oh yes, yes. At the time it was, and I think that really felt good. I think for me by that time, I felt like, okay, I had something here. I
Yeah.
guess people
You felt
really
more
love that.
comfortable in your
Yeah, I
role now.
felt a
Mm.
little bit more comfortable. I'm a big critic when it comes to my work. I think that's the reason why sometimes my work, I tend to sit on it for a while, which could be a good thing or bad, or a bad thing at time.
Do you
It's
sit on
really
it to
learning
make
how
sure
to
it's
balance
perfect?
it. Yeah, yeah,
Ah, yeah.
yeah. That could be a bad thing sometimes. I'm a hard critic on myself. I'm not gonna lie.
I know another Haitian guy that's like that too.
Yeah.
That's a good way to be. That's a good way to be, my
It
friend.
is.
I'll
It
tell
is.
you that.
That's true.
That's a good way to be. Now you reside in Florida?
Yes, I'm out in Florida,
Okay.
Fort Lauderdale area.
Now in your films, do you cast just people of your ethnicity and culture, or do you have like an array of different people and cultures
I
and race?
I cast different people, all culture and all different races, background, because yes, I am Haitian, but I'm not what, if you know anything about Haitian films, like I don't produce Haitian films, if that makes sense. If you
Mm-hmm.
know the difference, like right now we working on Queen's King, that's a Haitian American film.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the stories here, you know, it's not
Back home, back
like
in
a
Haiti.
Haitian film. And so
Okay.
it's not like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I do cast different people depending the type of the film, the genre of the film. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask you, tagging on to Mr. Discipline's question, knowing that you cast, all types of people, do you save like the main characters for um, people of your own, race or color or anything like that? Like, how
Um.
Jordan Peele, he likes to give the main roles to black actors and then supporting roles to whoever
Mhm.
else.
To really be honest, when I write a script, I sort of have someone in mind as I'm writing.
Mm.
I don't think it even really so much matter if the person is white or black, but most of my films are pretty much, you can say it's more of an urban film because the story, like when you look at Love Until It Hurts, this was a film that basically, I mean, anyone can relate to it,
Mm-hmm.
different ethnicity, but the lead actors were basically black, so that would consider it to be a black film, an urban film, if you want to call it that,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the targeted audience. So yeah, that's pretty much where that yeah, that's
Okay.
how I cast pretty much.
And I also know that you directed, and now please correct me if I pronounce it wrong, Pu- Pukisa music video
Yes,
by the
Fukisa.
Pukisa by the group Gazman
Yes,
Disip featuring Richard K. Right, and that was
yeah,
not also that was
that's Richie
nominated
Cave.
for Cave,
Yeah.
not Cave,
And
bien boba.
Pukisa is synonymous with quizás in Spanish.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what quizás?
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
So okay, you different. Okay. So like or por qué.
Oh, okay, got you,
You
got
see what I'm
you. All
saying?
right.
Because it's different depending on the sentence and stuff like that.
So
So that's
this
what
this music
pukisa
video,
means.
thank you for clearing that up. It was nominated for best cinematography by
hmm
Widescreen Film and Music Festival. Did you
Yes.
do a lot of music video in the like videos in the beginning of your career?
Yes. I started pretty much doing a lot of different music video, mostly hip hop music videos. I've done a lot for a good friend of mine. He goes by Fetty Records, Rich Fetty. So yeah, from music videos, I grew there. Then I think I did probably like three Haitian music videos, which I kind of a friend of mine kind of had to hook up, and that's how I kind of branched and I did just three. And all three of those music videos, believe it or not, got me like on the radio, where
Oh
I had to
wow.
discuss those videos because it's something that they saw that was a little bit different than the norm. When you watch a lot of Haitian music videos, especially if it has something to do with romance or love, it's always the same concept. It's always like two couples arguing, one cheating on the other, and so I kind of wanted to take the story. I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, but it's about taking a little bit here and there and just creating something of your
Different.
own.
Yeah.
So when I did that, they definitely saw something different in terms of quality, in terms of just the visual itself. So I was really extremely happy with that.
Oh, that's awesome. Now I
Yeah.
know that you continued your passion for film and directing by directing the Bay Night series. And I know that when we were, talking on the phone or communicating through emails and texts,
hmm
um, I was like, where is it? Because I can't find it. That's dropping this summer, right?
Yes, Bay Night actually. We started out as Bay Night was a mini series. My friend who also produced on most of my projects, Sandra Justice, she had an event called Bay Night for couple. And out of that, we wanted to know how we're going to sell tickets. We only had 1 month to sell tickets.
Mm.
So I came up with the idea. I'm like, why don't we do some short snippets? And I was like, why don't we do a web series? We had
Mm-hmm.
1 month, so every Friday, if we can just drop something, and that's how we came out with like 5 episodes of Day Night. And we knew that we didn't have a story.
Mm.
We didn't have time to write a story, so we were actually writing the story while we were
Oh my
shooting it.
God.
We've now, like, this is like
Wow.
guerrilla shooting. We've
Oh.
never done anything like it before. We did it. We put it out there, and people actually loved it. And next thing you know, we're being nominated at the Miami Web Fest. We end up winning the festival. We got like
You got,
total of 3 awards.
yeah, you won for best cinematographer. The leading
Yes.
actress, your friend Sandra Justice, won for best actress. She got the best
Hmm.
actress award, and then the
Yes.
series won the best in Fest. Right?
Yes.
Were you
Yes.
surprised at all the nominations
Of
and
course, we were surprised. We sitting in the room and then we heard like Bay Night. We like what? What? Like because to us it's be- because it's just something that we sort of put together.
last minute type thing?
Like we didn't think like because it was being done such in a fast pace, and I had to put these things out, edit them by Friday to upload to YouTube. So I
Wow,
was
a
sleeping
lot of
like
work.
I was up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning editing to make sure that I have it on time.
How many videos?
So say it again.
How many films? How many
Well, we did like 5 episodes.
oh.
5 episodes. Like we
How
had
long?
I was about to ask.
we started. We did like 5 minutes before, and then people were like, "Oh, it's too short. You gotta give us more."
Mm.
Then we did 10 minutes.
Mm.
So we kept it within 10, 12 minutes.
Oh.
Was this
Yeah.
the hardest that you had to do? Because you said you were writing and shooting at like the
Yes.
same day.
Oh
What
yes.
what
Oh yes.
software do
We
you use for editing
uh
like
I
film?
use Adobe. I use
Mm.
Oh,
Adobe.
okay.
Yeah, because I'm a graphic artist, so I love all Adobe products. So yeah, it's a lot easier that way.
Okay.
And how did you
Yeah.
wind up celebrating all these wins?
Uh, I guess while we were there, we did a few interviews after the festivals here and there, and we was just amazed. And then we decided, like, well, since we won these awards and people want it, so we decided, you know what, let's come out with a season 2. But unfortunately, we end up not making a season 2. We instead we just made it to a full-fledged film,
Mm.
Oh,
to a
okay.
full feature.
And
Yes.
that's the one that's coming out this summer, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
we're looking to, yeah,
that's
to
exciting.
So
release that.
so how long you been doing this?
Say it again.
How long you been doing this?
Um, well, I would say Love Until It Hurts was released in 2018.
Okay.
That's when we did the first premiere. It was our first film, so I would pretty much say we started from there. But of course, Employed was the beginning of the Love Bug.
Mm-hmm.
For filmmaking
Mm.
in 2008.
Mm.
Yes. And I know that the Bay Night series is now a feature film, right? That you just said starring
Yes,
Hollywood actor Jaden Kane and
yes, Jaden Kane,
Carla Cia
great guy.
Grant. Yeah.
Yes, Carlacia Grant. I actually met, like I said, like I've been mentioned before, Carlacia and I, we grew up in the same church. And because she's an actress and I wanted to direct, so we sort of got together
What a
and
small
we
world.
started doing a lot. Yeah, and then when she got her big film, the first film that she did was she did Roots, the
Mm-hmm.
remake of Roots, and had a great role. And then she also did Game of Silence, so she was on both nights.
Mm.
And
Oh
then
wow.
like we literally did a watch party for her, the both night that she was being aired on and NBC. It was extremely excited, and through her, she mentioned Jaden Kane to us. I guess they were friends at the time. I didn't know him before I met him. He practically knew about me already because she would brag to him if there's anybody who's ever gonna make it as Luner, he's passionate. this and that. So we became very, very great friends.
Oh, that's
Very great friends.
awesome.
Yes.
Now, I know with your commitment and vast experience in the industry, that landed you a speaking role, right? And as a panelist on the filmmaking at the Film
Ah,
Music Arts Culture Conference held at the
yeah,
2018 Jazz in the Gardens
yes,
Music
Jazz
Fest,
in the
right?
Garden. Yeah, Jazz in the Garden. That was
And
a great event.
that you had a couple of people on that panel, right?
Yes, there was a couple of people. There was the kid from Moonlight and also I think it's called The Shy, Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
They have a
Oh
show, so
yes.
he was there as well. It was hosted by Rico Love. It was a great event. The funny thing about it is it's just set timing because I wasn't even supposed to be on the panel, but my movie, Love Until It Hurts, was going to be shown on the projector. I was just there like everybody else. And next thing you know, one director was running late, and
Oh
they was like,
wow.
"Do you mind going up there, like talk about filmmaking?" I'm like, "Yeah, why not? I
Right?
love
Divine timing. Wow, that's
divine timing."
awesome.
So it was just incredible. And I mean, it was the funny thing about this. That whole week, there's a guy named Joe, the singer. Everybody thinks I'm Joe. Everywhere I would go,
I could
they
see
would
it.
say they
Yeah.
say I look like Joe. I look like Joe the singer, Joe Thomas. So
Yeah.
people would come up to me and literally thinking I was Joe. It was crazy.
And just
Mhm.
taking pictures with you. Like, wait, can I
Yeah,
take a picture with
exactly.
you?
Taking pictures, doing videos, and I'm just going with the whole process.
You were
It's
like,
crazy.
yep.
How did you go about putting your film into like film festivals?
Well, film festivals. You may think it's weird. It's film festivals is something that I don't. I've entered just to do it, but it's not something that I personally like.
Okay.
I just have my own reasons. For yeah, I guess everyone's in the business for di- different reasons. For me, um, I didn't get into it to enter festivals. Some people do festivals, and that's great.
Hmm.
For me, I think I did it just to gain the experience,
Mhm.
but it's not something that I enjoy. They're extremely expensive. Especially the traveling, and I just felt like I can use all this money into marketing and
Hmm.
getting my film out there. That's just me
More important.
personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now, after 3 years in the making, you wrote, directed, and produced the six-part feature film, which what you have been talking about, "Loving Till It Hurts." Let me tell you, I was watching it and I was yelling at the TV. I was like yelling at like Florette and
I'm
and the
about to
other
talk about
and the
that.
other characters. Like, what are you doing?
hmm
And I'm gonna tell you, I think I told you before during one of our when we were chatting. I was pleasantly surprised that I was surprised because I could usually like
hmm
like if I'm watching a movie, I'd be like, oh, I know exactly what's gonna happen next. And I was
hmm
thinking like, oh, I know what's gonna happen, and then it didn't. I was like, holy shit, where did that come from? So I was pleasantly surprised with that.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, me.
and
Thank you. Thank you.
that's a must-watch romantic drama about a lonely, unhappy, and abused housewife who runs
hmm
into an old high school friend while experiencing emotional abandonment and struggling to maintain the love of her husband. Now, what made you make that film?
I was really inspired by a friend named Maggie. She was basically stabbed multiple times by an ex-husband and left in the tub to die.
Oh
And
my
she
God.
practically crawled out the tub to get to the front door and being able to reach out and somebody saw her. They called the ambulance. If she didn't do that, she would have died. She
Wow.
came to me after she was inspired to have her create her organization called Free Yourself Women Foundation. She came to me to do her logo design package, and I just wanted to how I had the thought like how can I bring more awareness to her
Mm.
company to see what she's doing. And I was like, well, let me see if I can come up with a 5 minute short film, and maybe we can show it and then have her talk more about her company. That was the whole idea, to be honest. And
And
out of that 5 minute short film, it ended up, turning into a a feature film.
yeah, and that movie was awarded Best Romantic Series in 2018, right, at the Urban Film
Yes,
Festival.
yes, yes,
And
yes,
in
yes. It
2019,
got
it
an
was
award.
awarded Best Cinematography at the Miami Film Festival and Best Narrative at the Orlando Urban. You have a whole lot of awards here, sir. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
The
you. Thank
beginning
you.
of Love Until It Hurts.
It's
I don't
gripping.
want to give
It's
anything
gripping.
away. Yeah, it's gripping, graphic. Like I've never seen that before in a film. As far as you know, I don't want to give it away. But it was like it was like I knew that in order for you to have created that, it had to have come from some type of trauma, whether it was you experienced it with parents or you've heard or seen it with friends or like you said with the female. But yeah, it was interesting. And then what he ended up doing, I was like, I could relate to the last part, but not the beginning.
Locking somebody.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Like,
I just gave it away.
But not like to that extent. Like no woman has ever gotten me to that extent to be out of that character. But the last part of what he does with her, I've done
in that opening scene. You're talking
in that
about.
opening scene. I've done, but not at the extent and the things he used and stuff like that. That But I just thought that was interesting.
And it's
Go ahead.
It's funny you said that because this is exactly what I wanted the audience to get from it. Because before I did the film, I actually went on YouTube and watched a lot of different short films, feature films on domestic violence, and all the ones that I saw, I felt like wasn't as gripping to me like how I wanted to show this particular one. I wanted to be a little bit more drastic with it because I felt like the subject matter is so important that it was important for me to grab you at the first time, at the opening.
Yes.
That was so important. But not only that, I literally had another friend who her husband actually did stuff like that. Look like to her, like she couldn't leave the house.
I was about to say, go ahead.
Yeah, she couldn't leave the house. He would do stuff like that. Not to that degree, but yeah.
Wow.
I was gonna say, like witnessing it, I've never witnessed it differently. You know what I'm saying? Like the way you have it, the characters interacting in there in that scene, I've never seen that in a film. Like I've seen it not in my household, but I've seen it. But this is what I'm saying: Haitian culture, Jamaican culture. You see what I'm saying? Trinidadian culture, even like
South
Puerto
Americans too,
Rican, culture. I've seen it, but when you look at domestic violence, you just think of full blown out, like I'm gonna beat you like a man, or
right.
whatever.
There's different levels.
There's
to
different levels to it. So when
Yeah.
I saw that, I was like, oh, this is kind of different.
it.
You know what I'm saying? And then I wanted to know what made him go to that level.
Extreme.
And then I started like throwing hypotheticals, cheating or something. You see what I'm saying? Like what would make it? So I just started thinking and then just started throwing things in my head. Like, and I was like, oh my God, the director, the screenwriter, the producer, however they pictured this, they envisioned it and created this scene that could have stemmed from something personal.
Definitely. Well, it's kind of like rappers. Like if you write about what you know or what you've seen, like your experiences, is that much better. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming it's the same thing with as a film director.
Yes, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, the fact that my friend was able to share that with me, and I couldn't believe, like, wow, he went to that extreme to the point. All of her friends, he
Yeah.
practically kept her away from people
Yeah.
like everybody, including me.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy, but I'm so happy that you mentioned that. That satisfied my soul because this
Oh,
is
good.
exactly what I wanted. Because a lot of times an artist will paint a picture, and so many people are going to see so many different
Things,
meanings
right.
to the painting. So I'm happy that he was able to get that. And
Specifically that.
yeah,
and
specifically that.
and
You
and
know,
l-
there's
go ahead.
yeah, and there's so many just little hidden gems in there, like especially
Yes.
even at the gallery
Yeah.
Yes.
when she
Oh my
looks at
God.
the painting.
And she saw her friend. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Another part that I yelled at.
And
Yeah,
and that's something that I always do. Like I always look in depth, whether it's a word, whether
Mhm.
it's a scene, whatever, film, television show. Like I always look in depth. And when I
yeah.
look at the title of the film, "Love Until It Hurts," it's like so brilliant. It's so
Mm.
brilliant.
Yeah, it's
Thank
a nice
you.
play on words. Now,
Yeah,
that film brought education and awareness to the domestic violence community. And in 2019, you were involved in another panel discussion with, and I was very impressed, Dr. Khalila Camacho Ali, right?
yes, yes, yes,
Former wife of famed boxer Muhammad Ali.
yes, yes.
That is
That's
so
correct.
interesting. And
That is
along,
correct.
obviously, with mental health
Yes,
therapists, other authors, and cast members, you guys all came together to shed light on such a sensitive topic.
yes. It was a great event. She actually came out. I didn't know her, but my business partner, Sandra Justice, knew of her. They met at an event, and then so they were friends. And then she told her what we were doing. She came out and she was really impressed with the project and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And I remember she gave me her number and she's like, "We're gonna work together. We're gonna work together. I love your work and such a great person."
Well, can you take
And
our
so
number down? Because we're going to work together too.
that's awesome. No problem. I love working with anybody who wants to work with me. I just I'm a people person. I'm a people person. A lot of times he I'm the type of guy that gives a lot of people a chance, like chances. Like
Mm,
I work with the underdog. Like you don't even have to be an actor,
right.
literally, to work with me. As bad as it sounds, like most people probably won't like that, but I'm that guy that take a shot at the
Mm, that's
person
awesome.
that you would never think of.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome. Because people need that to get that
yeah,
hand.
Listen, to be honest with you, some people have these just indigenous innate
hmm
abilities. Some people don't need to go to acting classes. They're just
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
natural in their
Mm-hmm.
role.
yes,
Some people, like, when you do films, like what actors do is most actors portray something that they are not in real life, and that's what makes it great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for
hmm
example, if somebody is just like like an actor, for example, he's a follower, he plays a boss in a role. You know what I'm saying? He
hmm
just executes, and there's certain things that you cannot teach. Certain
yeah,
idiosyncrasies where it's like you're reading a script and the actor just puts their spin on it. And
Mm,
you could just see,
hmm
like, Denzel does that.
yeah.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? Like Robert De Niro have done that. Al Pacino. Like you could
uh-huh.
just tell, was that in the script? Like when Denzel says, "My man,"
Mm.
like I'm like, yo,
My
I know
man.
that's not in the script.
Yeah.
That's like him just throwing his
Ad libs. Yeah.
personality
Mm-hmm.
in there. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Definitely.
yeah. And for this purpose, I'm the type of director that I allow my actors to be free.
Mm.
Yes, I wrote the script this way, but I believe actors are not puppets. They
Right.
are creative individuals
Mm-hmm.
that they bring something unique to the table. So I allow them to be free to see how can they take this scene, this character role, and make it their own.
Theirs. Right.
They each individual are going to speak differently.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So there's times there could be something that I didn't write, but they say it's so different, and I end up loving it. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I like that line. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I truly believe that you have to allow them to be free, unless
Yeah.
there's a specific line you want it to be said that way. Then I understand, but most of the time, I allow them. I think you're gonna get the best work out of them when you open the platform and give them the freedom to be creative as well.
I agree. I agree. Now that film that we were just talking about, Loving Till It Hurts, that's streaming on
Yes,
Tubi and Amazon Prime currently, correct?
yes, Yes, it is on Amazon Prime and also on Tubi for free. Yes.
Okay. Now, I also want to touch on, because you mentioned that you're currently filming and working on your third feature film, which is Queen's
Queen's King.
King. Yes.
Queen's King.
And
Yes.
that is the unlikely love story of an odd Afro-Haitian couple, Ram and
hmm
Neffy. Am I saying her name right? Neffy?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Living in South Florida. And their journey begins when Neffy defies her Christian beliefs to
hmm
pursue a crush on Ram, an aspiring
hmm
rap artist. Now, what does that mean? She defies her Christian beliefs.
Well, a lot of the time, somebody like Neffy, she grew up in a Christian home. She went against her parents. You you know, um, she kind of goes against the
Like her
book.
upbringing?
Yeah, and she kind of goes against
Agree.
almost everything. Like for instance, like the Bible would say, "Do not yoke with non-believers."
Mhm.
Ram is not a believer. You see what I mean?
Ah,
But
got
the
you.
heart does what it does. The
Mhm.
heart falls for whom it wants.
Correct.
Things like that. So that's where that's coming at. He's an inspiring artist.
Now, did you write that movie as well?
Yes, I actually wrote that script in 1 month.
I was just about to ask you that. How long does it take you to write your scripts? Is it usually
I
1 month, or does it usually take longer?
N- no, this is the first script I can honestly say I have written out that took me 1 month, and I think that was out of frustration, to be honest. It was out of frustration
So your other
because
scripts you've written like sooner, like earlier, like quicker?
no, this
Oh.
was my first one. Everything else has been like a year, 2 years, and I'm still on it
Oh,
here and there.
wow.
But Queen's King was different. Was different. It was
And
really different.
and now where did you come up with the idea for Queen's King?
I think, to be honest, it was a good friend of mine, Gigi Rock. Actually, she's the one that's playing the lead. I remember expressing to her my frustration with day night.
Mm,
Some of the things that we went through with day night, and I think that's what took day night so long to come out. It's just certain people we had in our camp. You just can't work with everybody.
that's
Mhm.
true.
Sometimes not having the right people that
Mhm.
can become a detrimental thing for
Mhm.
your crew. And so a lot of things happened, and it was bittersweet to be honest. Is bittersweet, and so that's how that's what it was, and just lashing out my frustration, and
Mm,
because when you have a vision, you know where you want to go, and then you can't get the people that's supposed to be in your camp to move in the right direction.
right.
It was devastating. So out of that, I was like, man, like the next film that I'm going to make, I just felt like that project had me sitting for a while, pondering
Y-
if I'm going to continue as a filmmaker, if
y-
that makes
Wait,
sense.
Queen's King or Bay Nights?
Bay Night. Bay Night
Ah,
had me there. Like Bay Night is a bittersweet project.
You
got you.
have other you have other writers, or you're doing it all.
Yes, I had another writer that we did partner with. That it worked out and stuff. So, and that's what I mean. It was sort of bittersweet.
Yeah, because
You
sometimes
know,
that helps with just bouncing ideas off each other, brainstorming.
yeah,
They might have a better idea than you, and then you kind of built that collaboration. Because I could
yeah,
understand about the bumps in the road and the writer's block. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
yeah,
I've been
yeah,
blessed to not experience writer's block, but bumps in the
yeah,
road are there.
yes, that's true.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Now, do you feel like you have a specific genre to your filmmaking?
I would say yes. I love drama. To be honest, I feel like drama is almost the
It sells.
closest. Yeah. Well, some people think different. They don't think drama sells unless you have a huge actor,
mhm,
because
Mm,
drama tends to drag more, versus comedy. If you got to be very skillful to write a comedy, then
mm,
mhm,
when it comes to action, you better have your A game. You know
mhm,
what you're doing. You got the
right.
money to pull out. an action film.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
drama to me is a little bit easier to shoot, and at the same time, I mean, you still need that creativity,
Mhm.
because there's a pacing that needs to evolve, that needs to take place, and able to create that emotion between the characters, the film, and the audience.
And
Yeah.
You
and
know, but
drama
I do prefer drama.
and
Okay.
drama, you're gonna attract more females than males.
Yeah,
Women love
yeah,
soap operas. They love
We love
drama.
drama.
They love drama.
yeah.
You know, it's very few men that are gonna get into it unless a woman's like, "Oh, you got to check this out."
Oh, like the movies,
And
you
Hmm.
mean?
the guy's
Mm.
like, "Oh, I'm not really into it, but it has some action in it. Okay, I'll check it out."
Yeah, for the action. Cool.
You see what I'm saying? But women just love that. They eat that up.
Mm.
Drama.
Now, we know how challenging and competitive filmmaking can be. Why did you choose this career path? And did you always know you wanted to make films?
I think it chose me to be honest, because I started out making music. That was my first love. I enjoy music just as much as anyone else, but I think I enjoy my music more because it was more therapeutic for me.
Mm. Do you still make
Um,
music?
no, I don't make music anymore. But after 21 something years, that I've decided that I'm now going to release an album that after my
Hey.
divorce, you
So,
know, something that was like hidden. I was not going to put it out, and all of a sudden, I've decided that I'm going to put it out after 21 years,
oh,
So you're
wow.
just to
divorced.
satisfy my soul.
You're divorced.
Yes, I went through a divorce.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, yeah, it happens to the best of us.
It sure
This is
does.
yeah.
Now, when it comes to marketing, how different is it for major studios versus indie filmmakers?
It's extremely different. In my opinion, like I remember we were just having this discussion. Some people would like, "Well, I see you posting a lot about the film right now, and but you're still shooting it. You just started shooting it." Some people felt like it's not good to do that. Um, but we're different from Hollywood. Hollywood can silently create a film today and put the film out next week, and it's going to sell because they
Yeah.
have the capital, they have the end, they have the industry, versus us as an indie filmmaker.
Gotta
I
do a lot yourself.
personally believe that you need to find a way to build that social media
Mm-hmm.
buzz as you are
Yeah.
shooting this project. You need to get people to engage,
Yes.
build that anticipation as you're shooting it, as it's in post, and I think you're gonna create a much better
Like buzz?
anticipation. Yeah,
Yeah.
big buzz by doing it that way.
Yes, and I've said this in a show prior, like being back in season one. What does
Hmm.
success mean to you? I think episode 8. I don't know how I remember that.
I don't know how you remember it either.
Um, but I've mentioned of that, and I've mentioned it's similar to being a book author for the first time. You're either self-published or traditional. So
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood
Hmm.
aspect, what you're talking about is a traditional aspect where
Yes.
you might get you might not get a big kickback as far as capital, but
Hmm.
it's gonna sell more and faster because they're gonna
Yes.
build like 100 people, all these mechanics. They're gonna sell the
Mm-hmm.
books
Hmm.
for you. They're gonna reprint it, resell it, market it all over the place. Ticket sales, so you don't have to
Yeah.
do too much work.
Mm. But
Self
they get most of the money.
Yes,
Mm.
self-publishing, you do, and it's the same thing that he just described.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you have more creative control. You might have to come out of your pocket more. You have to do your own marketing and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
the reward is big.
Right. It's all
Yes.
yours.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So, how important is it to support indie filmmakers?
It is extremely important because we do need the support. The amount of work that goes into an indie film, it doesn't matter whether you think the project is up to par or not. Um, some people call it whack. That whack film, that film that you don't think that it was up to par. Believe it or not, so much work
Went
was
into
put
it.
into it. So
Mm-hmm.
much creativity was put into it, and I feel like um, when it comes to just anything that someone can think of and create and bring people together to make it happen, I think that they deserve some sort of
Compensation.
some sort, yeah, exactly. Even if it's a simple, like, yay, congratulations. I
Mm-hmm.
think that makes such a big difference, because it's just going to encourage this individual to keep going,
To keep exactly.
because through the project you're still battling with self
Mm-hmm.
mentally. You're still battling, do I have it together, or why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to even finding funding for the project, that
Mm-hmm.
it's extremely challenging. So I think liking, sharing, reposting, commenting, all of these things plays a huge factor, and supporting and any filmmaker.
So is that how you would tell people, like, how they can show love and support? Like how can
Oh
people
yes.
show love and support to Lunerversal Productions film projects? What can they
Oh
do?
yeah, yeah. Well, well, definitely, I would say follow the page of the film that we're working on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, Queen's King.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to the page, follow the page. Like, a lot of time it's not even about the money. A lot of people, especially right now, it may be tough for anyone to
Mm-hmm.
give money, but some people, where they can't give $200-300, maybe they can buy a shirt, a Queen's King shirt. They can go to the
Mm-hmm.
website, lunerversalfilm.com, and they can purchase a T-shirt. That's going to be able to help. Because one of the things is, we make sure that we feed our actors. Even if we go over 6 hours, we make sure we have dinner for them. All this adds up. Food is
Yeah.
extremely expensive now,
Oh
just as
yes.
much as gas prices.
The
Hmm.
gas price is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So what you're saying with some people thinking something is whack or whatever it is,
Yeah,
um, it really doesn't matter what people think. The reason
yeah,
is what you think is whack, I might like.
mhm.
What
Exactly.
I think is the best, other people don't like. Could be a television show, could be a book,
Yeah,
whatever it is. Everybody could be saying, "Yo, you gotta watch this show," and it's on a
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
major network, right?
Hmm.
And I'm like, it's whack. I
Right.
don't like it. The acting sucks and all of that stuff. But I like this show, which is like a more indie show,
Mm-hmm.
which is a lot of people
Yes.
don't know about it, but it is a lot better in
They
my
usually
perspective.
are a lot better.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so at the end of the day, like, keep doing what you're doing because
Thank
you're
you.
touching different people.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You gotta put out what you wanna put out, not what you think people
exactly.
people wanna put out. And the reward is gonna be the reward is gonna be the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, for
Hmm.
example, me, let's say, for example, I wanna cast an all black and Latino cast, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And one Caucasian person is like, why aren't there white people in there? I'm not gonna tune in your show. I hate your show because you don't have
Hmm.
white people in there. I don't care because
Yeah.
it's a biased opinion. However,
Yeah.
if there's an array of Caucasian people saying why aren't there should be, then I'm gonna be saying, okay, I'm gonna listen. You
Mm.
see what I'm saying? Because
Yes.
you shouldn't really care for just one or two subjective bias opinions.
Mm.
Yes. Yes.
If as long as it's not compromising your character or whatever it is. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But it's like if you have an array of people that's talking about something and it's gonna be conducive to you and lucrative, you see what I'm
Yes.
saying, for yourself,
Hmm.
then you should
Yeah.
listen to it. But other than that, if somebody told you, hey, you should make a film about just a boat, just the whole
Hmm.
just a whole film of two people on a boat, that would be the
Yeah.
whole show.
Yeah.
Why would I do that? If you don't want to do
Hmm.
that, you don't have to do that. You see what I'm
Mm.
Yeah.
saying? So I'm just telling you, like, always do what you want to do, and you're gonna be touching different people.
Mm.
That's
Wh-
true.
What is your favorite thing about filmmaking?
I think my favorite thing about filmmaking is being able to be that source, that bridge, creating opportunity for others.
Mm. That's a
Because
good
there are
bridge.
people here that's not able to afford to move to Hollywood. They're not afford to move to go to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So they sort of like stuck here, and because there's no incentives here in Florida, so there's not a lot of big films that's coming here to, you know,
Right.
to
To be
to
filmed.
produce, so
Mm-hmm.
to be filmed. So the fact that I'm here, I feel like I am a blessing for those that are here, those who really wants to get into filming. And again, it goes back into why I look for the underdogs. I look for
Mm-hmm.
those who really wants to want to get into film. So for me, the success of seeing one actor right now, like for instance, if you look at my lead actor for Queen King, Neffy, this is her first leading role, her first
Oh,
leading role
wow.
ever, and I think she has been doing such a fantastic job so far. To be honest, so I love to work with new
New
actors.
talent. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's exciting.
It's incredible.
Now,
Yeah.
let me ask you, what does it mean to be an executive producer, like on a show or something or on a movie? What does that mean,
Okay.
executive producer?
Well, the executive
Could
producer
have told
are
you.
the
I could have told
people
you
who
that.
basically really fund the project, who really
Absolutely.
like says that, hey, I believe in the project. I'm going to go ahead and fund it. Whether they came in as just an investor who's seeking a return, or somebody who says, you know what, I'm going to fund it. I just want to see you guys grow. There's many different levels of how they come and contribute, but they are the back end of the project that backs the project, push the project forward. Because without the funding, it's really hard to do that. I remember when I did Love Until It Hurts, literally when I did the first project, I didn't really have an investor. Like I had a friend who came in and gave me a few $1,000s, and it was like, hey, if you don't make anything, it's okay. Like, that
Right.
was a lot of love. But a lot of my actors came in, they didn't look at the money, but because I didn't have the money to pay them, I put them all on what they call a deferred contract. The film makes money, then
Then they
you know,
get a
then
cut.
then then they make money, and I was able to pay all of my actors because
Oh,
one of
that's
my thing was
awesome.
to find this distribution.
So
Yes.
is that the same thing like how grants and sponsors work?
Oh yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
When a sponsor come and they say, okay, I'm going to put my liquor bottle in your film, or I'm going to put my brain here. Whatever it is that they have, whatever that product is, we basically turn around. What we do, well, there's an exchange here. They giving like us money, and then we'll put they like product placement. We'll put their product in the film, or sometimes they can become a sponsor where they give money, and then let's say we're going to put them on a billboard, or at the end credit, or we'll put them at the beginning of
Mm,
before the movie starts at the theater. There's different ways to go about it.
that's so do you have like one person that works on grants and sponsors or
I wish I did, but unfortunately, I'm the person that handles that. To be honest, I'm the
Yeah, I
person that.
have before you finish that, I have a quote that you say, "In the beginning, you have to become all things to push out your first project."
Oh yes, that's definitely a true statement. Like when people ask me most of the time, "Hey, what do you do?" I normally would say, "Oh, I'm a producer, director, writer." I play so many different hats. I don't like to say I do all of these things, only because a lot of times when you hear someone do so much, it's almost as if what's the statement that they say? Jack of all trades,
Mhm.
masters of none, those type of things. So
Oh.
I always try not to appear as that. I mean, unfortunately, I happen to be very good at all of these things.
Mhm.
Thank God, I'm truly blessed. But yeah, but you have to become at least be some sort of knowledgeable in those areas, so you'll be able to place people there that can get the job done as well. But you have to become like I am the editor.
Right.
So I wish I didn't have to edit. Editing is so much time consuming, but
Mm.
that's what has to happen. You sort of have to, because if someone's going to become a filmmaker, you first have to dissect, well, which part. There's so many different mechanical parts that makes that creates a film. So which part are you going to be, the DP, director of photography with camera,
Mm.
or are you going to direct, or are you going to produce? If you're going to produce, well, do you like paperwork? Do
Mm,
you like analysis, charts analysis, and all
mm,
of that? But like budgeting, all this goes into play when it comes to producing.
mhm.
So
Wow.
there's so many different
Yeah,
aspects.
they're
Yeah,
pretty much like the boss, the
Mm.
exactly,
executive producers.
exactly. Yes.
Okay. Now, what do you said that you don't look for anything specific in an actor or actress when they have an interest with working with you, right? You like you said, that an underdog to give them that chance,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so how
I,
can others contact Lunerversal Productions if they have an interest in working with you?
they can go to my website, lunerversalfilm.com, and they can fill out we have two different forms. One for talent, and the other one just if they have any generic questions at all. That's one way. And they can also go on Instagram. I'm on Instagram more, so they can reach out Lunerversal Film as well. That's one way of doing that. Thank
Okay.
you.
Are
So,
you on Facebook or any other
Oh yes,
medium?
I am also on Facebook, Lunerversal Film, and
Okay.
Queen's King as well.
so,
All
Yes.
so
right.
they could just Google.
Yes, they can
Okay,
just Google
great.
it. They're going to find it. I try to keep my
Great.
pages pretty much the same. Lunerversal Film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So when
Okay.
it comes to a
yeah.
film, last thing, you have any more?
No, I'm
When
good.
it comes to film, um, you would say that like the cameraman and director have the load, right?
Hmm.
You would say that's correct?
Um, yeah, I would say those important key positions,
Hmm.
and then you have the sound per person as well. Like
Okay.
sound and video goes very
Yeah.
Hand
they
in
goes
hand.
hand in hand.
Mm.
Yeah, hand
Yeah.
in hand.
I just wanted to get
For
that
sure.
clarification because
Yes.
most executive producers are not hands on.
No,
Mm-hmm.
So I just
executive
want to make that
producers like
perfectly
they
clear.
just bring in the money, and sometimes too they may have a
No,
little bit of creative rights.
yeah.
Sometimes they may not have
And,
creative rights.
and they may not
All of
even
my
go ahead.
yeah, all of my executive producers, I would say, I still keep the creative rights. That's just something that I can't turn over unless you have some real, you know,
Input.
uh, input,
Right.
creativity for for the type of films that I want to make. Yeah,
And they may not always be there either.
yes,
They
exactly.
may like
They
just
may come on set just to see,
hmm
if they've never been on set to see how things are being done. I think I think it's a great experience for them to come at least see how things are being put together.
hmm
Sometimes they may call and say, "Hey, when is you guys that shoot?"
hmm
And they may come on set and just watch, and
Okay.
which is
Mm.
pretty cool.
Cool.
Now, should we expect this the Queen's King to be released?
Um, well, definitely at the end of this year. This is a project that we are really looking to push out at the end of this year
Okay.
So,
for sure.
will you come back on the show after it's out so we can talk
Oh,
about
I
it
would
again?
love to if I get an
Oh,
invitation, of course.
yeah, that's exciting.
Okay, that's
Yes,
great.
yeah.
And
Well,
This
thank
is
you so
awesome.
much for coming on the show, and I enjoyed speaking with you. I've learned so much, and like I said,
Thank
that
you.
the loving till it hurts got me screaming at the characters at my TV. My daughter was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "This dumb idiot over here," and I was pleasantly surprised at being surprised. So that's awesome. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you so much, guys, for having me.
Mhm.
This was a pleasure. I'm always honored to speak, to share ideas, and you guys are such wonderful person. I think you guys make a
Oh,
great team.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
We're also I'm gonna I was serious about keeping in touch though. So
Okay.
just if when my number pops up, don't ignore me.
No, that's
Yeah,
not gonna happen. That's not gonna
All right,
happen.
yeah,
I
man,
good,
love
and
net. I
and
love the network.
and
good.
we don't know what the future holds,
Hmm.
That's
but
true.
you know, we could be funding your next project. You never know
You
Never
like
never
know.
know.
that working
Never know.
together side by side. I'm also a writer, so
Awesome.
Exactly.
you know what I'm
Listen,
saying.
divine timing. Like I feel like we came in each other's life for a reason.
Yeah,
Yes, I
yeah.
truly believe that.
I do
All
too.
right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Likewise. Thank you very much.
All
All
right. Bye
right.
Bye
bye.
bye.
That was so
Night.
fun. I liked it.
Great night.
Look at me.
But
I'm about to take off my headphone and everything. Sorry.
you have any final thoughts?
No, because like we stated earlier, this is not one of our normal shows. It was a
Hmm.
special edition, and I had a lot. I love when we have guests on that we can
Hmm.
focus on them because it's you learn so much.
Yeah,
What do we know about
yeah.
film?
So, it's not a final thought. I just wanted to piggyback off what he was saying as far as the actors and actresses
Mm-hmm.
um putting their own spin on things. I remember one of the one of the not so much big, but it was pretty big for me because I never acted before.
Mm-hmm.
I did a music video, and
Hey.
I don't remember, maybe
Were you
2016 or something like that.
dancing?
2017. No, I
Oh,
was
you were.
actually the music video was called Discipline.
Oh, I remember it.
So I was
Yes.
actually displaying my tying abilities,
Mm-hmm.
and I was supposed to be dominating this girl. I was kind of like this extra or whatever, while the musical artist was rapping.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So I was shirtless, like you see me throw her on the bed and
So
then turn
you
her
were
over.
part of the story being told.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So that was one, and then I did another one. It's called Take It Off, and there I remember there was a scene where they wanted me to play this submissive guy who never had sex before. So this is why I
Interesting.
tell you about, like, you're portraying something you're not.
Right, right.
And like me, I'm so steadfast that I was getting I was getting it wrong.
Ah, how they
And
wanted you to
yeah,
act.
and there was like a mini audience there, and they were like laughing, like, why couldn't I get it? And I was just telling them like I really have to dive into this because this is not my character.
Right.
So, the scene was, she got up, she was gonna change into an outfit, so I slap her butt. And then when she comes out with lingerie, we're holding hands and we're kind of like meditating. And while we're meditating together, we're getting turned on.
Okay.
So now she's drenched, she's not really drenched, she's acting.
Right.
So she's drenched and she's taking my hand, leading me upstairs to the bedroom. So I just, like I said, I was doing everything wrong, where they were just like, the director and the cameraman was just like, yo, why can't you get this? And I was like, this doesn't make me feel comfortable. And I said, I think that going up the stairs, it would be great if I just kind of hold off. I put my weight down so she can't move. And then I grab her towards me. I push her up against the wall. I put my hand around her throat and act like I'm going to kiss her. She pushes me off and she runs up the stairs and I run after her.
Mm.
Yo, the director was like, I mean, that sounds,
I
the
like that.
female actress was like, oh my God, can we do that? Can we do that? I think that's great. Can we do that? Like, are you a director? So then the director and the cameraman was like, yo, let's try it. When we did it and it came out immaculate. And they were like, we're gonna do that. We're gonna shoot it that way. And that's why I talk about taking the lead, because that's what I'm comfortable with.
Right,
You see what
right.
I did there?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I couldn't play that role because
Yeah.
I was getting it wrong, and they just kept saying, "Yo, why can't you do this?"
I
We
can't
had to
even
do like
picture
10
you playing that role.
takes. We had
Yeah.
to do 10 takes, and I was doing it because I knew that person from a friend to a friend, so I was doing them a favor. So
Right.
that's why I was doing, but I would never have done something like that
Right,
or played
right,
that
right.
role.
I could never even picture that.
You see what I'm saying? So like, while I was doing that, I went and, this is me taking control and adding my own spin on it, and it came out great because I did it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes down to that, like, some people, like I said, they have this innate ability. They don't have to
Yeah.
have acting roles or whatever it
That's
is,
true. That's true.
So
Not
yeah.
me. I cannot ever be an actress. They'll be like, don't look at the camera. And I'll be like, that camera right there. Anyway, that was a good show.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us tonight on the Discipline Therapy podcast.
Peace.
Peace.